Syrian girl, there's all sorts of news about Syria today. Can you just bring us up to date on what has happened?
Well, I expected that we would see something from the powers that be on the Ides of March. I'm talking about NATO and co. The Ides of March was around 15th to 17th of March, and that's when the initial protests began, the initial opposition movement protests. So I expected to see protests planned by the opposition around this time. And what we saw yesterday was massive protests in Syria for the reform process and against the insurgency. And some of the people in the protest were actually pro-government as well. So that was not so much seen in the Western media, just in on Syrian TV, and it was sort of noted by the Western media and explained away. But as I understand it, no footage of it was shown widespread. But what we do get on the Western media, what we do see being reported, are these twin bombings in Damascus that happened today. So it's interesting to see what is concentrated on in Damascus. Uh, Yesterday, I was quite hopeful. I thought we saw the end of this, but now I see that, in fact, my expectations for this Ides of March time is worse than imagined. There's been 44 killed, confirmed as of now, and 160 injured. I'm not sure if these numbers are going to change, but those are the numbers I have right now. And the bombing is in two areas. One is in Independence Square, and one is in Sahat al-Umayyin, Umayyad Square, which is the biggest square in Damascus. It's the center. And that's where most of the people were at the rally yesterday. Millions of people were there yesterday, just yesterday. And it's actually in an area that is very old. It's near an area called Abu Rummani, where mostly old people reside because it's an old area, and sort of new purchases being made by up and coming richer people buying into this area because it's very central. And actually, I have a grandparent in that area, and it's looking at the footage of the aftermath and the buildings being destroyed. Most of the buildings in that area look the same, and there's footage being shown of old people being pulled out of the houses in their nightgowns, and for me, it's just very close to home. So that's what's happened.
Well, it was a massive bomb, obviously, to have hurt so many people. Just to clarify, you're referring to the IDs of March. It must be a Muslim holiday, is it?
No, no. When I refer to the Ides of March, I'm referring to uh, Julius Caesar being stabbed on the Ides of March, and it's a reference to Shakespearean play where he says, "Beware the Ides of March." And
Oh,
it seems for the in elite circles, it seems to be a time where March bad things tend to happen, and we know that the invasion of Iraq was in March, so it's kind of bad luck
I
expectation.
see. Good. Anyway, it's clarified. And what do you think the message is behind the bombing, and who is Syria pointing a finger at, saying who did it?
Well, Syria is pointing a finger at Saudi Arabia and the Gulf Arab states, and for me, I think this coincided with Kofi Annan's visit. Um, the first bombings in Damascus occurred when the Arab League visited. It coincided, and just after Kofi Annan left Syria, also we saw another bombing. It seems a very unlikely coincidence. And actually, the first person that spoke up about it was Kofi Annan. And if you look at Associated Press report on the bombings, you'll see a quote by him that, in so many words, he said, well, if Syria seriously considers this peace plan that we have set out for it, then these bombings, might come to an end. So to me, that sounds like a thinly veiled threat. If you don't comply, then you're going to continue to see destabilization and sectarian civil war in your country. And I thought that, all the masses of Syrians coming out in opposition to this conspiracy was going to be the end of them, but I guess they haven't given up.
And they happened now. I realize they happened while Kofi Annan was there. It was like a message to him as well. The big rallies.
Uh, I think maybe at the same day that he left, they happened. So yeah, it was a message. They talk in actions more so than words. Countries.
Well, now the actions of today are bombs in Damascus. So I wonder if Syria is going to respond or just take it on board and continue.
It's a difficult question because if we take it on board and continue, we we don't know if it's going to get worse. We don't know if it's just going to continue the way it is, which is equally bad. And if we're instigated, like they'd like us to be instigated, if we act and we actually go in and attack these countries that are causing this, the Gulf Arab states, Israel, what will end up is a massive war. And the question is, do the people in charge want this? And are we going to give it to them? It's becoming, in your words, in one of your videos, you said we are like a cornered cat. So it's in time will tell how long this is going to last. And the thing is, we're very, taking from mythology of Syria and from our history, we're very patient people, and our civilization is thousands of years old. And they say that Damascus has seen the rise and fall of many empires, and our bird of ancient Phoenicia, which is where Syria originates, is the phoenix bird. So they say it always rises again from the ashes. And I think no matter what they throw at us, at the end of the day, we're going to be victorious.
Well, that's a good note to end on. You're going to put together a video of today's footage, is that correct?
Yes, and I hope it will be linked and everybody can see it. It's raw footage from the news.